Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers Showcase video. In today's video we're looking at another very small, very elegant transport ship, which is called the Swift Bird, which is this lovely thing right here. So this is a way of getting around the Earth-like planets with you and your friends, just go exploring or just going from one base to another. It's very well built, it's got just enough thrust to be very responsive, and it's got a very easy to recharge battery that sits on the back. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, which is 302 small blocks. It uses no mods and no DLC packs, and you can see it right there, it's inspired by the transport ships from Mass Effect. So we're going to start by taking a quick look around the outside. There's not too much to talk about, it's very self-explanatory. Then we're going to go and fly around and have some silly fun with it. So coming around to the very front here, we can see the small window blocks being put to very good use. All the way around this ship, that is what's giving it its sleek design. Yes, at the very front we got some spotlights to light up the darkness, say if you're using the pitch black night mod, or if you just wanted to have some fancy spotlights to light your way. Above that we got some blast door edges that lead across into our little pilot area, and we can see how the window blocks have been put to use. So as we move around the side, we've got some lovely blockwork in the red carbon fiber skin. Then we can see inside at our almost cappuccino-like colour cockpit, where we've got some passenger seats, and we've got our small control seat for the pilot. We can see a programmable block in there, and a small cargo container that sits right behind it. That cargo container, you could put anything you want in it. For me, I would say put a few tools in there and perhaps a couple steel plates, just in case you take a bit of damage while flying this thing around. And as we come around, we will come back to the cockpit a bit later on. We'll just continue going around the side. So as we move around the back, we start to see the curved blocks and our atmospheric thrusters. Atmospheric thrusters are the only form of thrust that appear on this little shuttle, so we're only generally good for the Earth-like planet. You could push it on Mars, but it is only designed for this one planet. We can see a connector there underneath with another light and a battery on top. Now that connector and battery are very important because the battery is your only form of power. So you will need to make sure that connector's snapped onto a base or a larger ship in order for that battery to charge up while you're not using it. Because if you don't, you're going to come crashing back down to the ground very quickly if you forget about that. Yes, that is it around the side. Taking a quick look above at the top, we can see some more thrusters. There's the top of our battery, and we've got some window blocks that come along separating the two sides. If I was just come down and underneath, I think we can take a look like this. Yes, we can. We can see some blast door parts right there, so you can just clamp it down straight to the ground without risking damaging the main body. And as we move towards the back, we can see our connector right there, and the bottoms of our thrusters. So there we are. Then as for our cockpit, this is what we get. So like I said, we've got our seats, our control seat, a little raised block in the middle to separate the two, our programmable block in the middle that has an artificial horizon on it, and then we got some interior lights just in case it's very dark when you're flying it. Now this ship is very well done to the point that you can modify it to however you want. Strap massive thrusters on it, strap massive cannons on it, replace the spotlights at the front with some Gatling guns, or you could always encase this in with glass and have it fully protected. You go one further and have some modded windows on there that can open and close so you let yourself get in and out. It's entirely up to you. It's very well made and it's such a great design. I don't know what it is about it, but it does look good. So now it's time for me to get into my character because we got some options to play with. Not too many because it is a transport ship, but number one is our thrusters on and off, which is called our brakes. So we can just cruise along like that, and then we can switch it on if we wanted to stop. So that's your fake cruise control button. Number 2 and number 3 are for your lights. So number 2 will be to turn off the light at the very back. There we are. And then number 3 will be for the ones at the front. Number 9 is to put your battery into auto or recharge. Let me just reverse this over so we don't come crashing down. There we are. So we're now recharging and our power's being maxed out and we cannot fly. So as for flying, going all the way up, we are quite fast. It's surprisingly nimble, this thing, for the sheer lack of thrusters on it. Yes, it's very good. Going forwards, we've got some great speed. Stopping as well is very good. Going left and going right is pretty damn good as well. And going down is great. Then wiggling my mouse around, we've got a nice lot of control. There is a little bit of weight, you can feel it drag when you move your mouse, but it's certainly a fantastic little transport vessel to fly around, and it does look fantastic. I can't get over its design. I think it is the small window blocks that make this. It's just such a well put together shuttle. But what can we do? What can we do to this shuttle to make it even better? Well, I put in a few little mods that we're going to play with in just a moment. But talking about changing this around, I can come around to here and find myself some Gatling guns. Yes, so if you wanted to weaponize this small vehicle, and sorry creator, I am kind of going to destroy this shuttle. Yes, we can remove our spotlights for something more dangerous, and that's going to annoy me, so I'm going to put that further back in like that. So we're going to come back into the cockpit, find our weapon blocks, and put it down. So now we have a weaponized transport vehicle to blast your enemies with. Look at that go. What if we wanted to go one further? Yes, what if we were to take it up another notch by adding in some modded weaponries, such as the Little David. Now the Little David is a very big cannon. Its name is deceptive, to say the least. Much like the Big Bertha, you don't think it's going to be huge, but it is. Let's just compare that. So there's the Big Bertha. Yes, this thing is rather humongous and will leave a nasty hole in your base. Yes, this is what I've come up with. A Little David on the transport ship. We can still fly this around all nicely, and we will need to come over and drag this down to our hotbar so we can fire it. Let's just select that and fly on back to my little base. The little base over there was set up on the moon. I just copied and pasted it a bit. It's still under construction. It got hit by a few meteors. So yes, it's a little bit unfinished and underfurnished. So here we are. With the cannon on, we don't really stop in a decent amount of time, but firing it should prove great. There we go. Such a satisfying cannon. It's just a shame it's got such a long reload. But that is the damage we did to it. Quite a nice chunk, actually. Just removes the blocks there. They were light armored blocks, and it was in a poorly shot area. You get the idea. What if we wanted to maybe make it a bit more sensible, right? Not have a giant cannon strapped on top. But what if we were to have two cannons? No, that's just a bit silly. No, let me just go and remove this off for a much smaller cannon. Where is that? We can have one of these on there instead. So let's just go remove that, and we're going to make this as central as possible. That should do nicely. That's now protecting our battery at the back. That fits very snug, actually. That's a little bit better, I feel. So I'm just going to fly back over to the base, give it to the pirates, and then we're going to blast it with that cannon. And hopefully that won't survive, just in case I need a backup. Let's just come over to here, select everything, and transfer it to the pirates. I believe I am out of range completely, which is good. It's just flying all the way back over to here. Let's get back in this, and this will be the end of the video. There's not too much else to talk about. You could just carry 4 people around in this, maybe even more if you wanted them to stand up, or whatever. Yes. Oh, and there that goes. That was a terrible miss. Bad cannon. Now we're just going to fly. Ooh, that was a good shot. We are now a deadly transport vessel. You didn't expect to see that in this video. So we're just going to fly around. That turret's going to do a nice lot of damage. We've got plenty of control over this. It's kind of amazing. And we can't even help out with our Gatling guns. Like so. Now all I need to do is strap some shield mods on this, and it'll be the ultimate weapon of destruction. The very innocent transport vessel. But anyway, that is it for the Swift Bird. It's a fantastic little transport ship with a great design, small on block count, so it's easy to build in survival mode. And yes, that is it. So it'll be in the description below if you do want to play with it yourself, and I'll be back with another showcase video some point soon. Bye bye.